It was a short list. That list just got shorter. El Jardinero, and, in the words of Katerina Zoke, El Yogur. Yogurt. Now, this is the guy that Julian Dory said looked like an Olmec. And Katerina said, sometimes you guys joke, and, it's real dangerous for me when you guys joke like that. Like, they be pushing this danger shit. Like it's some token or something. His underling, or El 03, or El Yogur. That's it. Those are the three choices, right? Well, two now. Shout out EC12. I honestly think the government already knows where all these cartel leaders are at. They are the ones that decide when each one gets captured. I've been saying that. Hey, when it's your turn, it's your turn. All right, man, see his location. And then they go get him. Pull up his location. All right, we got him right here. Let's go get this motherfucker. I wonder if Ivan is to blame. Watch what they say in a few days. They're going to blame Ivan somehow. And I'm going to say it again when that happens. That if everything the people blame them for is true, these guys are the illest villains that ever lived. If everything people attribute to them is true, golly, boy, shit is crazy. Top Jalisco cartel leader, El Jardinero, arrested in Mexico, minister says. Monterrey, Mexico, April 27th. Mexican special forces have arrested Audias Flores, known as El Jardinero, one of the top commanders of the powerful Jalisco New Generation cartel in the western state of Nayarit. Security Minister Omar Garcia Harfuch said on Monday. Flores, a regional commander in control of swaths of Jalisco New Generation cartel territory along Mexico's Pacific coast, was considered a potential successor to El Mencho, who ran the cartel and was killed in a security operation. What does that even mean? A security operation. What that mean? That mean you try to help somebody or you try to secure something? Nah, man. You try to take buddy out, you did. Right, maybe it was betrayal it's always betrayal. And it's always for something. Most of the time, not the throne. More like a couple years here. You get a deal, you get a deal, you get a deal. Leverage. An extra chop. A softer pillow. I want my fucking chop. He's a significant figure, said Carlos Olivo, a former U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration Assistant Special Agent in Charge and CJNG expert. His arrest will have a bigger effect on CJNG operations than Mencho being taken out. See, they're always going to up the ante. Now they got him, and when they get the next guy, they're going to say, we got El Yogur. Now that we got him, it's even a bigger blow to them than when we got them. And then they're going to get down to little Rene that they send to go get the cocas and shit. They're going to get down to him and say, this guy was bigger than Mayo, Chapo. This is every time. It's the same recycled story. All right, the word cartel is so saturated right now that a cartel low-level underling could fart right now, and they're going to make 50 stories about it. And not only them, the government. The government's going to say, we located them. We felt tremors coming from a specific direction through our CIA drones, and we got them. Just keep in mind the news cycle. This will have a bigger effect on CJNG operations than Mencho being taken out. Garcia Harfuch said on X that the arrest followed a Mexican arrest warrant and charges in the United States. He's also wanted by U.S. authorities for extradition, but y'all don't extradite, y'all expel. Garcia Harfuch said on X that the arrest followed a Mexican arrest warrant and charges in the United States. He's also wanted by the U.S. authorities for extradition. The U.S. government had offered $5 million reward for his capture, Garcia Harfuch posted. The U.S. Treasury Department had identified Flores as a significant foreign narcotics trafficker and said in 2021 a U.S. grand jury had charged him with conspiracy to distribute cocaine and heroin, among other crimes. The arrest marks the latest blow to Mexican drug cartels after El Mencho's killing. A personal mission for Garcia Harfuch. It sounds like a personal mission. And we've seen Jay on this channel, Jay Flores, say many a time, hey, this shit is personal between Harfuch and them guys. Them guys allegedly try to smoke him. When shit's personal, it's personal. It's a blood vendetta. Because it looks like the military spending more money going after the four letters than they are trying to stop that war. The arrest marks the latest blow to Mexican drug cartels after El Mencho's killing, a personal mission for Garcia Harfuch, who had blamed El Mencho for a 2020 assassination attempt that left two of his bodyguards dead. Flores was among several top regional leaders who security analysts believe could be well placed to take over control of the cartel. Mexico's security situation is facing tight scrutiny as the country prepares to co-host the FIFA World Cup. Come on, man. The United States can't even host the correspondence dinner. You know what I mean?
No mommy's wait.
No, nothing's safe right now. Prepares to co-host the FIFA World Cup this summer alongside the U.S. and Canada. He the one that Mencho put in charge to protect Ivan. To protect Ivan, so who's going to protect him now? He's on his own? A personal vendetta or the government just helping one side? If you could kill two birds with one stone, why not, right? That's probably where Harfouk's head is at. If he's already plugged and he got a vendetta against these motherfuckers, cool. They want him out of there. They want to wipe the earth from him.
Your services are no longer needed in the community.
Who the bomber clot?
All right, it seems like the government has pulled the CJNG's pass. Sounds like their permit has been pulled, okay? Yeah, CJNG paperwork deemed no good by the government. That's what it's looking like, no? I wonder what will happen to CJNG Chapito's alliance. Supposedly, Jardinero was the one that was helping them the most. I also think the government is supporting or on the side of Maito Flaco. Shout out Sam. Pete never said the same thing, that, you know, this is the guy they sent over there to take care of the Chapitos. This is the picture that Julian Dory said he looked like an Olmec head. I mean, he's not lying. He looked like an Olmec head. Let's just talk about us as humans, Sam. Let's just say, for example, there wasn't the rumors that Harfouk is connected allegedly to the Maito Flacos. If he's going at their enemy, everybody's going to say he's connected to them anyway. So it doesn't even really matter at this point. Let's just call it two birds with one stone. I want revenge on y'all, and I fucks with them, so it works out for us all. All right, very grainy footage. They could afford these helicopters and all this shit, but these guys can't get a 8K camera. I don't understand it. This the drone they use to get eyes on Mencho. I mean, it's cool. It's pretty high up there, but goddamn, you could do better than that. I got footage from that high up better than that at night. Forget what they talking about. We just looking. I see a helicopter. There's a little house right here. The rest is just rural nothingness. Choppers kicking up dust. Boom, we got one chopper. Two choppers. This is a truck on the road. So a chopper here, and some truck on the road. We got another chopper over here in the corner. It's the truck. Now they spent some money on the gardener, boy. Did they burn something? Is this burning? Or is that just hot light? It's like they drew this shit on an Etch-a-Sketch. It looks like they shit on the lens of the camera, and then they were like, all right, let's get him. Oh, there it is. Took him out of a hole. Saddam Hussein style. Look at him. How his shirt still so clean, though, huh? Shouldn't he come out of there looking like Chapo when they grabbed Chapo's ass on the street? They say he was trying to escape through a tunnel, but the Marines were already waiting for him to come out. They're watching him on both ends. Sige, no, go that way. No, yeah, just keep going. Another 10 feet. He's sitting at this guy's feet. They just blocked it with this lower third because stupid. But yeah, he's right there. His shirt too clean, though. Like, he ain't go through no tunnel. That's a clean-ass tunnel. Who cleaning their tunnels like that? They pushing him around. Get your ass on the floor. They were like, look at this place. The landscaping sucks here. Whose gardener are you? That was pretty fast, man. Pretty fast. We were just talking about this guy a month ago. After the whole Mencho situation, their services are no longer needed in the community.
Your services are no longer needed in the community.
Who the bomber clot?
He was the head of security, El Jardinero, head of security for CJNG, being identified as the right-hand man and close personal confidant of El Mencho. He was one of the candidates to succeed as head of the group just over a month after his death in Jalisco during an operation by armed forces. Omar Harfouk made this capture public on his social media accounts. Oh yeah, he's doing happy dances and shit. He said that this operation was planned and developed and executed by the Mexican Navy. He also expressed his appreciation for the bravery, discipline, and commitment shown by the men and the women of the Mexican Navy during the operation. The security cabinet indicated that 19 months of surveillance, field, and office intelligence work, and some testimonials from some friends, as well as information, there it is, information sharing, between them and their friends. The United States considers him a significant drug trafficker under the Foreign Narcotics Kingpin Designation Act, designated pursuant to executive orders, which requires him to launder his assets in the United States and prohibits U.S. persons from conducting transactions with him. The Treasury Department identifies him as having significant control of cartel territory along the Pacific coast, including the state of Nayarit. He is known to have controlled methamphetamine labs, clandestine airstrips, and small planes, cargo trucks, and passenger vehicles used to transport cocaine, heroin, and other drugs from Central America to Mexico and subsequently to distribution cells in various U.S. states. This is why he has this long list of outstanding warrants for Mexican justice, including a warrant for his rearrest and extradition order to the United States. This is a major blow to one of the most important members of the hierarchy of the last four names who were among the possible successors to Mencho and the CJNG. Boom, there he is. Salty. You guys like giving these, well, not you guys, but the people that they be looking for these movie style characters, cartel characters. This guy looks like you see him at your local Lowe's or Home Depot. He don't look like this. He don't look like that. Don't none of them look like none of the shit y'all think they look like. On top of that, you see his mugshots. You see his Olmec ass mugshot. Yeah, he look like a giant. Like he can rips people to shreds with his face. Bro, he's just a dude you run into in the garden department at motherfucking Lowe's, man. Can we take a good look at something? If he went through a tunnel, why is his shirt so white? That shirt's white. Sun shining on it, white. For him to have gone through a tunnel. This guy looked like he went to pick up sod, but he didn't touch it. He paid somebody else to throw the rolls of sod on the truck. He don't look like he went through no shit. Listen, they pushed him on the floor. We saw it on video. Don't look like he pushed him on the floor in that shit. He said they published footage a couple of minutes ago of how they got him. An enormous operation, 6 helicopters, 520 personnel from different agencies. They spent all the bread on dude. Somebody threw Harfouk's, some more budget to get the job done, you know? Now, they had 520 personnel. Where's the information? How many people did dude have? Was he by himself? Where's all the guys that want to tell me that these guys running around with 100 people all the time? Where they at? They hiding back here? Where they at? Shout out Pete Never. They saying Harfouk the next president. I don't doubt it. Don't it look like he's somebody that's working his way towards a job, huh? That's the third bird with one stone, right? People like to accuse him and say that he's connected to the Hats. So that's one. He got a personal vendetta against the CJNG. That's 2. And I get a trophy out of this. I'll be El Presidente. I walk in the room, they play this music and shit. She's for hugs. He's for shutting shit down. Not one shot was fired in this arrest of this man. All right, they're saying he went through a drainage pipe. In an attempt to avoid capture, El Jardinero went through a drainage pipe. Nah. Cartel gets the drainage pipes cleaned and shit? What are we talking about here? Drainage pipe? They ain't never seen the Shawshank Redemption? This ain't it. It was determined that the target was sheltering in a cabin with a security detail consisting of multiple vehicles. Okay. All right, so I was wrong. This guy actually did have 30 trucks. And guess what it did for him? Nothing. Supposedly, they fought more at Mencho's situation than they did here. A security detail consisting of multiple vehicles, around 30 trucks and armed personnel. More than 60 people. When his bodyguards realized the presence of armed forces, they fled in different directions to confuse authorities about Silva's whereabouts. They ran. They didn't bust at him. They knew it was a rat. You bust at them, it's the upper room for you. Done deal. Listen, Harfouk is on a mission right now, bro. Harfouk is walking around with his chest out. Like, yeah, tarde o temprano, sooner or later, I got your ass. Nobody licked off one shot, and then everybody ran in every direction to distract them from El Jardinero. They ran because they was running. That's why they ran.
Run.
They ran because it was time to run. Oh, we can't bust back? I gotta go. Or maybe he expected them to still bust back, and they said, nah, man, fuck that. Bullshit. How many people did they arrest? Just him? Everybody managed to jump in their truck and ride away? Looks like he ran and tried hiding in the water duct. That shirt says a different story. Shout out to Nene. He definitely got his get back for sure. And I don't know that he's done. He want to be the next president. He got to get them trophies right now. He's putting heads on his wall. There was one of his financiers that they arrested too. That's it. Who's left? Who's next for that list? Like Jay Flores said, what happens when they don't got a big name anymore? They're making big names out of no names. They said supposedly fires were reported after he was arrested. You gonna do that shit every time? So there it is, man. El Jardinero popped off. Who's next? They spent all this bread to get this guy. What are they doing about that war over there? And how far does he go with the CJNG thing? Is El Yogur next? Another one bites the dust. Now they're going to take his testimony and see what he got to offer, and then they help use him to get the next guy. So on and so forth goes this thing of ours. I just think it's wild that they haven't captured Maito Flaco, Ivan, and Alfredo. They've been causing all this chaos and violence in Sinaloa for almost 2 years. Ain't it, man? It's just wild out here. This shit feels like the Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon shows and shit, where the main characters are all knocked off. Got time to make new stars in this glorified ass game. You all don't think it's a coincidence that the guys from CJNG started to get captured as soon as they formed an alliance with the Chapitos? I'm saying. Everything sounds like coincidence in this fucking game because everybody's lying. But again, if everything that's blamed on them Chapitos is true, no iller villains than them, and I'd have to say, man, they gotta be plugged with them CIA motherfuckers, man. Have to. But then again, I say have to the same way people say, oh, the twins have to have bodies. You don't get far in that game without bodies and blah, 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 blah. That's why the line exceptions to the rule exists. So this also can be an exception to the rule. They could just be the illest villains that ever lived. They don't even need that connection. But, goddamn, it sounds like they're doing it so easy. Everybody for the last 30 years has blamed everything. For the last 20 years has blamed everything on these dudes. Well, that would go against the logic of Harfouk being plugged with the hats and with Maito Flaco. So, if you believe that, then you're taking that off the table. Shout out John Jones. 4 letters almost smoked Harfouk, so he got an axe to grind with them, definitely. Mencho Jardinero probably will be Double R or El 03 next. A whole lot of cooperation going down, and then some. And every time they lock one up, more opportunity for more information and shit. And we say, oh, but who gave up this one? The last one did. Who gave up the one before that? You didn't see all of those guys? What did Jay say? Didn't he say as soon as Mencho got taken out, didn't you see all of those 4-letter guys that started pleading guilty? You didn't see that? What did Jay say? He said because they got, everybody got to make sure that nobody forgets the information they gave him. I need my get back. Can I get my get back, please? Thank you. I need some credit for that. We got to do it while it's fresh in the news. Right now, it's as fresh as it's going to be, so let's get it. These new narcos are soft. Well, who do you consider new narcos? And explain, why are they soft? What is soft about them? I have my reasons of thinking they soft. All you got to do to know they soft is take away the power, the weapon, the money. They'll show you right then and there. I thought Jardinero would have went out like Tony Tormenta, Arturo Beltran, El Ondiado, El Lasca, etc. Yeah. No, they don't do that no more. You know why? There's deals. Everybody can get a deal now. You get a deal. You get a deal. You get a deal. There's negotiations to be done, so they think. They don't do it like that no more. Listen, from what we seen, from the evidence they showed us of where it happened to El Mencho didn't even go out like that. Because what we saw was some fabricated, put together, drop those shells on that kitchen floor over there shit. So, them fools went out in a blaze of glory. I mean, the aftermath pictures, though, John, they not so glorious, bro. I don't know how much glory is left in that. So, tan mal. Chino Anthrax, that fool went down fighting. Yeah, I guess, but what, I mean, that's it? That's the main event? I don't know, bro. Tony Montana done sold motherfuckers a dream. He ended up in a fucking bowl of piss and blood and shit. Ain't no glory in that. Glory is rescuing, some babies from a fire.